Hello and welcome to a new video. In this video I'm going to show you the best build for PvE right now for Retribution Paladin in World of Warcraft Bronzebeard. I will not only show you the build including Mystic Enchants, I will also show you my current gear update, but not only my gear, I will show you alternatives to the expensive crafting options you have, because there are a lot of good options we have right now for gearing up. I will also show you the new rotation, so let's dive in. So our best build for PvE is still Twist of Faith. Twist of Faith is a really great legendary enchant, which allows you to activate 2 seals at the same time with an internal global cooldown of 8 seconds. I adjusted my builds because I found out there are better options which increased my DPS. I have 2 setups, one for single target and one for AoE and Cleave fights. For single target I use this build here, Twist of Faith with Branding Seal. This increases the damage of Seed of Righteousness by 20%, and it also allows Judgment to empower Exorcism, Holy Shock and Holy Wrath to trigger Seed of Righteousness as well after you judge. As always, Crusade of the Light is the best option you have as Retribution Paladin for an epic enchant. So we always want this. This reduces the cooldown of our wings, which is our highest damage multiplicator, so we absolutely want this. It also gives you a Hand of Justice effect for another attack after 12 melee attacks or abilities. Because I use Seed of Righteousness and Seed of Vengeance in this build, which I show you in a second with my gear why I do this, I have to get my mana issue solved. Normally you could do this if you use Seal of Command by using the rare Mystic Enchant, but I don't have this option here for my single target build, so I go with Consecrated Weapon as my third epic Mystic Enchant. This Mystic Enchant allows your Consecration to empower your weapon for 10 seconds by increasing its melee critical chance by 6%, which is really a lot. It also gives our attacks a chance to restore 5% base mana, so if you use this epic Mystic Enchant, you have no mana problems at all, which is really good. For this setup, you don't really have another option, because if you swap out Consecrated Weapon, for example for Consecrated Seal, Sword of Vengeance or Fierce Vengeance, you will get mana problems, because Divine Plea is not enough to solve that. This is my setup for single target. For rare Mystic Enchant, I use Glyph of Vengeance, because I want to use Seed of Vengeance in combination with Seed of Righteousness here. Glyph of Judgment for 10% more judgment damage. Glyph of Seed of Righteousness to increase the damage of Seed of Righteousness even more by another 10%. Divine Strength for 15% more strength overall, big attack power boost. Seeds of the Pure to increase the damage done by Seed of Righteousness and Seed of Vengeance by 15% as well as their judgment. And Glyph of Holy Wrath to get another button to press every 15 seconds instead of 30 seconds with Holy Wrath, and to have some AoE as well if I don't want to swap in between. You could also use Glyph of Exorcism for 20% more exorcism damage instead of Glyph of Holy Wrath here. This is my first single target setup. My second setup I want to show you for AoE situations is this setup here. Once again, Twist of Faith, our best legendary enchant right now. For epic enchants, once again Crusade of the Light, because it's just too good to pass on, we already talked about this. Sword of Vengeance, because we want to use Seed of Vengeance and Seed of Command in the setup here. This allows you, when you charge Seed of Vengeance with 5 stacks on it, your Seed of Vengeance deals extra damage to the target and other enemies within 3 yards. So you basically do a lot of cleave damage with your Seed of Vengeance, which is really good. This should be your second epic enchant. And for the last epic Mystic Enchant, I use Consecrated Seal right now. This increases your holy damage by 6%, but this can be hard to play because you have to stand in your Consecration to get a buff all the time. If you want an easier Mystic Enchant to play, just go with Fierce Vengeance, because it just stacks up and you can't miss it and won't lose DPS with it. Really good option here. You obviously could also go with Consecrated Weapon here for the 6% crit if you don't want to care about mana at all, but in this setup I suggest to get a boost for your holy damage like with Fierce Vengeance or Consecrated Seal. For rare Mystic Enchants, I go with Seeds of the Pure once again to boost the damage of Seed of Vengeance here. Glyph of Seed of Command for 8% more base mana when you charge Seed of Command to make sure you don't have mana issue in the setup here. Glyph of Vengeance for the 10 expertise boost. Glyph of Holy Wrath for more AoE damage. Glyph of Judgment to do 10% more damage with Judgment. This goes really well together with Sword of Vengeance and Seals of the Pure, another boost for your damage here, and Divine Strength for 15% total strength overall. Light's Hammer as your artifact Mystic Enchant. And I will show you my gear for it right now, why I use this. I swapped a lot with my gear because I put more weight on crit at the moment. In my opinion, strength is still our primary stat, our best stat. But afterwards, crit is the absolute next stat, and it increases our DPS by a lot. I still have my Lionheart Helm of Expert Might. I use the Elder Magus Pendant, Mythic 9 right now. This increases our spell penetration. As you know from my last videos, we need about 60 plus spell penetration, which we get from this neck or from the Gem of Fortitude. Gem of Fortitude gives us more strength, but this one gives us more crit. And I used this one because I got this ring here, Band of Sulphurous of Expert Might, which increases strength and expertise by 16. I have more than enough strength and I want more crit in my build, so I adjusted this by a bit. For shoulders, I still use the Black Dragon Scale set on shoulders, boots and breastplate. I will show you good alternatives in a second for this. For my cloak, I use Shroud of Domination, which gives me strength and crit, everything we want. For bracers, I use Ram Bracers of the Sadist, also strength and crit, everything we want. For gloves, I got those Dark Iron Gauntlets of the Beast here. The secondary stats are not the best, of course, with agility and attack power. Strength for crit or strength for expertise, for example, would be better, but I have to use what I get, and I got this one. I have the Ascended Onslaught Girdle here. Was really lucky that this dropped, and I got it through my roll. Titanic Legend of Swift Might with strength and haste here. Once again, you want crit as a secondary stat, but it is what it is. It's still good. We already talked about the boots. For my other ring, I have the Inscribed Arcane Loop for spell penetration and crit. You can see in this video where to get this ring and the other best on slots rings you can buy. Hips Redstone as my first trinket for spell penetration to get to my point of 60, and the Eternal Flame artifact in Ascended version here for attack power and haste with an insane haste proc. This is really good because it allows you to get your wings more often during a raid encounter with the bonus attacks you get in combination with Crusader of the Light. If you can get this in Mythic or higher, it's way better than Dark Moon trinket, so try to get it. Libram of Amphibious Devotion, of course, for the insane proc, still insane damage, which this does. And for weapon, I have the Sulphurous in the heroic version. Obviously, Mythic or Ascended would be better. By the way, I made a post in the Discord server where I gave feedback to Ascension, where I asked if it should be a good option to upgrade legendary weapons because they cost so much and no one will do this twice. If you want to go to the post and upvote it, I will link it down in the video description if you think this is a good idea as well. If not, tell me why in the post there. Every feedback is great for this. So as you can see with the setup, I have 19 expertise, and with Seed of Vengeance, I have 29 expertise. I'm expertise capped. Seed of Vengeance is better on longer boss encounters, so it's a better seal than Command. And Seed of Righteousness obviously is our second best single target seal. So the combination of Seed of Vengeance and Seed of Righteous gives me a big damage boost on single target fights, which allows me to do about 5k plus DPS with this weapon, of course. But I understand that not everyone can get a legendary weapon, and also crafted gear is really expensive. I made a good optional gear setup here, which you can grind from Mythic Dungeons and a little bit of raiding. For head, you don't really have a good option except for this one here, because the alternatives are not really good. If you want to get some good late game gear, I really recommend you to craft a Lionheart Helm. The gold invested in this is still really good. In the next phase with BWL, tier 2 might be better than crafted gear, but we don't know it yet. This is a good investment for the next phases as well. For neck, Gem of Fortitude is a really solid World Forged item. Obviously, Elder Magus Pendant is also really good. Take one of those two to get your spell pen cap. For shoulders, those splintered shoulders here are really good. They have strength and they have crit, a lot of crit actually. You can get them from BRD, Mythic Plus, from the Prison Tract. If you can get those, they are better than the Black Dragon Scale set. Escape, the Shroud of Domination, also from Mythic Plus, from UBRS, really good. I wear this as well, great cape. For chest, you have a really good option with the Bloodsoul Breastplate. This is a crafted item as well, but it only costs a few gold, about 30 gold or something like this. Really good option if you don't want to spend a lot of gold, and insane amount of crit on it with 29 agility and 32 crit. Another good option is the Avenger Armor, also from Mythic Plus, from RFK, 30 strength and 23 crit, as well as haste is insanely good. So also a really great option better than Black Dragon Scale. For wrist, Worm Braces of the Sadist are really good with strength for crit. The problem with the setup I have shown you here is that you don't get 16 expertise. So another good option is Wrist Guards of Stability. You can get those from Molten Core. Of course not in the Ascended version, also the Heroic one or something like this is good enough. This is a pretty solid option in the slot here. For weapon, Sin Rock is still a really great option. If you can get it from Soul Group Ascended, this weapon carries a lot and you will do a lot of DPS with this. If you can get your hand on a Spinal Reaper in Mythic or better, it's a really strong weapon. If you can get it, try to get it. It's better than Sin Rock. The Black Fury here is also a crafted option which is really expensive. It is good, but it's really expensive, so I don't recommend it here. Obsidian Edgeblade in Ascended version is also really good. Or Spinal Reaper in Mythic. Thunderstrike in Ascended or Mythic is also a really strong weapon. If you can get this, is also good. So a lot of options from MC basically here or from Ascended Soul Group. For hands, we also really have a good option here. You could use tier 1 here, for example in the Mythic version, because it has expertise on it. This would allow you to take the Worm Braces of the Sadist, for example, with more strength and crit here. This could also be a good option for hands if you don't want an expensive crafted version. Onslaught Girdle, for example in Heroic MC, is a really good slot on the belt. Titanic Leggings, once again same as Lionheart Helm. You don't have a really good option on the leg. You could go with the Judgment leg plates here. They are also really good, not in Ascended. You can also use them in Heroic or Mythic, for example, if you don't want to craft it. Also a good alternative here. And for boots, the Sabatons of the Lost Dominion. This is from Waltz, the new dungeon on Bronzebeard. Those have strength and crit. They are insanely good. So with a setup like this here, you don't have to spend a lot of gold. Of course you have to grind, but they are really solid options for your DPS. For rings, I suggest to get an Inscribed Arcane Loop here because you can still upgrade it. But once again, it costs a lot of gold, so if you don't want to get it, Band of Rumination from UBRS is also about the same. Inscribed Warrior's Band here is another ring you can buy. I would suggest to invest this gold here because it's just good. If you can get a Band of Sorcerers in any version here, it's obviously better. Also a normal, for example, let's take this one here, really good. You can go with this and put Expertise Enchant on your Bracer, and you will still have the 16 expertise. If you can get this, this is better. Otherwise, go with the Inscribed Warrior's Band. For trinket, Dark Moon card Maelstrom is still one of our best trinkets you can get, but it is expensive. If you don't want to spend the gold, use the same one I'm using. It is not shown here in this list. I don't know why, so I can't show you, but you have seen it before. Otherwise, Shadowhide Claw, also a really good option as a World Forged item here. With this, you have an easy to farm gear setup here without having to spend a lot of gold. If you want to take this, go with it. For rotation, your rotation changes just a little bit with this. You have a priority system which you use. You want to make your Seal Twist all the time. Keep your both seals up, which is Seal of Vengeance and Seal of Command in your AoE setup. Consecration, Judgment, Holy Wrath, reactivate your Seal, Divine Storm, Light's Hammer, Consecration again, Judgment, Exorcism, Crusader Strike, Seal again. Obviously you want to use Wings at the start of your fight, and this is your AoE rotation. For single target, it's nearly the same, because we use Consecrated Weapon here once again. Our priority system looks like this. We want both seals active all the time. Consecration, Judgment, Exorcism, Seal Twist again, Divine Storm, keep Consecration up, Judgment, Holy Wrath, Light's Hammer, Seal Twist again, Crusader Strike. So the rotation just changes a little bit here. Make sure to keep the priority system active for your cooldowns which are up. Use Wings when you Bloodlust or at the beginning of the fight. And if you get mana problems with both builds, which shouldn't happen, use Divine Plea. And this is your best rotation for single target. And that's my updated Twist of Faith build. Thank you very much for watching. If you found this useful, consider to like and subscribe for more World of Warcraft Bronzebeard content. I also made a German channel where I upload German content. Right now I do reactions for Sauerkraut, so if you are a German viewer and are interested in this, you can subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Special thanks goes out to my channel members who support me with their hard-earned real-life money, especially Soul3, Jack Collis, Aussie, Penguin, 625 and Icecorn.